Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Peace, love, and positivity to you. My name is Sohum, and today I'm bringing you another triple reaction to Buck 65. We're going to be checking out Cold Steel Drum, Gee Whiz, and lastly, She Said Yes. I've done all of the possible intros that I can for Buck 65. I'm just ready to experience more of his work with y'all today. But before we jump in, a special thank you, as always, goes to Graham the Wise for making this generous donation request and the selections for us today. Now, let's quickly jump in. I'm already feeling the melody.
I lay it down for you in black and blue. Life here is getting mad.
Yeah, great melody.
I can feel your heart beating like a cold steel drum of winter. Overall,
oh, beautiful from Jen. Oh, that is so pretty, and what cool production underneath.
Bring me back.
Oh, you heard the whispering? Listen to that whisper.
Bring me back to love, surrender.
True desire, through the fire, it all came right down to the wire. The ways we come together and the ways we split, man, we've been through some crazy shit. True desire, through the fire, it all came right down to the wire. The ways we come together and the ways we split, man, we've been through some crazy shit.
Baby, I know.
Oh, the panning.
Be holding back my heart now.
Yeah.
I got the feeling that it's getting stronger anyhow. Won't you come along to the places that I wander? And I'm gonna give you back. We can learn from each other.
True desire, through the fire, it all.
It's kind of like, and correct me if my interpretation is a bit off here, but it's kind of like they're both acknowledging that they've had this love together and things were well, then they came apart, right? The splitting. But she's in a way longing for him, but also it's like a sort of indirect invitation for him, maybe a plea even, to get back together and look within, past even the cold steel drum of a heart that he may have. It's hard to, it depends on the dynamic of the relationship, whether it works or not, but if you're asking me, it would be hard for me to feel the love that I would like to feel in a relationship where the other person isn't as warming or like overtly affectionate. And so when somebody is more just apathetic or just maybe more flat with their emotions in regards to a romantic relationship, that dynamic doesn't necessarily come easy to me. So that's kind of like how Buck is being described, as more of like cold, and as if like he doesn't need to have the conversations of love with her in the way that she would want to have them. Yeah, let's keep going. I'll pull it back some here.
To the places that I wander, and I'm gonna give you back. We can learn from each other.
True desire, through the fire, it all came right down to the wire. The ways we come together and the ways we split, man, we've been through some crazy shit. True desire, through the fire, it all came right down to the wire. The ways we come together and the ways we split, man, we've been through some crazy shit.
I mess with that.
Bring me back
melody on point, scale on point, this pulsing, this droning in this mix. You can even hear the echoes of Bring Her Back emanating.
Bring me back.
Whisper again. That is such a cool way that they pan that. It's like she's actually whispering in my ear.
Bring me back to
Chilling.
love, surrender.
Who could have guessed it would ever go as deep as this? Singing without voice, amnesia and sleeplessness. Hunter goes quietly, distance seduce you. Windows that don't open, it's hard to get used to. The other shoe drops with a dutiful thud. Your eyes on the door and your beautiful blood. Overcast skies that are permanent and ominous. Hopper-esque hotel rooms and the anonymous. Already I find myself alone, and my mind wanders into the unknown. Counting the seconds and vowing the thirds. I sped through space with the rapidity of words. The worst kind of wounds don't even break the skin. I hope I never make the same mistake again. Memories of scars that I intend to keep. Wounded or ruined, I only pretend to sleep.
Oh, wait, did you hear that flow switch towards the end there? It was on, let me not try to remember, I'll pull it back.
Find myself alone, and my mind wanders into the unknown. Counting the seconds and vowing the thirds. I sped through space with the rapidity of words. The worst kind of wounds don't even break the skin.
Right
I hope
there.
I never make the same mistake again. Memories of scars that I intend to keep. Wounded or ruined, I only pretend to sleep.
Yeah, dude. The last, like, flow switch was not expected at all, but Buck is always capable of giving us the unexpected. That's already an established fact over here on this channel. Man, I really like the lyrics in this track, and one thing that really stuck out of my mind was the use of the word wander, because Jen mentioned it earlier, and I think in the second verse, I want you to wander where I wander, and, you know, kind of broadly, and then Buck himself mentions, my mind wanders, but it wanders into the unknown, in a place that I don't necessarily know where I'm at, or if it's where you think I should be, or any of the above. Like, there's so many infinite things to think about, and we may not be on the same page. So I just may thrive in being alone. What did he say at the end? Wounded and ruined. And he's the last line too. I only pretend to sleep. Clearly, he's tortured, and it's almost like reminding me of that, like, anxious attached, avoidantly attached dynamic that can play out in relationships, where the anxiously attached individual is reaching out for some connection to their partner, but the avoidantly attached person is in need of a lot of space and a lot of introspection to feel regulated, and then they can maybe come back into the relationship calmer. But that time of friction where the anxiously attached wants to connect and they're no longer doing that, there's a lot of, let's say, disconnection that happens there. Even though it is important to take time, the anxious feels like, man, we are separate now and it's not working. And that dynamic is hard to uphold. And then the anxious continues to get emotionally hurt if they themselves don't look within to, you know, regulate and make the situation better. But in the end, the avoidantly attached can still opt to being alone too. So it's like the anxious's worst fears coming true. Such is life. Sometimes the things that we hope don't happen literally happen, and we kind of have to take it on the chin and move on. Yeah, I don't know if my interpretation for this one is all correct, but definitely there's relationship issues here between Jen and Buck. But beautiful song. Love the melody. Of course, love all the production elements we heard. And the whisper. Every time Jen would come in with that, goosebumps. Let's jump into Gee Whiz.
Tell me what it is, gee whiz. I don't think I know.
Oh, another beautiful melody.
Believe me, I've tried, but there's no explaining. Eyes piled up, you look like a painting. Saintly and sexy, the soft-spoken wind blows. Uncertain curtains cover broken windows. In desperate need of safe haven and inflamed.
He said uncertain curtains cover broken windows. Whoa.
Those uncertain curtains
Poetic.
cover broken windows. In desperate need of safe haven and inflamed, I walk around Paris unshaven and ashamed. 20 odd years since last time I slow danced. Teenage crisis and the end of romance. I see myself in the form of a wolf, furry, down on all fours and worried. Uneven colors and the echoes of fly tones. Connections I've lost in a collection of jawbones. Apples and oranges. You decide which. I'm writing graffiti on Suicide Bridge. I once knew a woman who was clever and tough, who said too much makeup is never enough. Her eyelids were heavy with work.
I like those alien effects right there. I got distracted from the from the lyrics for a moment.
You decide which. I'm writing graffiti on Suicide Bridge. I once knew a woman who was clever and tough, who said too much makeup is never enough. Her eyelids were heavy with words and desire. She lives underwater with the birds and the fire. And it just so happens I'm selling my psyche. If you like love, you'll love this most likely.
You and me. Environment to be. That's right. I love you.
There you go.
Whatever partner you do choose, you have the ability to marry.
Man, I don't know if any of you guys have ever listened to some of Logic. He's a rapper. Some of his earlier work, the way that he would sample from different, songs. He would include so many record scratches and fit in the narration on top of the melody. This is so reminiscent of what I remember when I first discovered Logic. I wish I had a good song to share off the bat, but just look up Logic and all of his older work.
You have the ability to marry.
I'll never hurt you. You know,
Husbands love your wives.
love the woman.
That is so cool. It's like a collage.
Please treacherous. I've been patient. Relationships and love.
When will you see? Quand viendrez-vous me voir?
Was that French? I mean, so much happened in that whole sequence. I definitely missed a bunch.
Relationships and love.
When will you see? Quand viendrez-vous me voir?
Allez-vous me voir? Are you going to see me? Something like that?
Bird girl, sorry I'm too sleepy to make, but the sounds of my dreams always keep me awake. Don't wanna scare the birds away, so I speak soft. Memories like the shows of Vanessa Beecroft. Your bedroom philosophies are so perplexing, but I think these two wooden legs are so sexy. Crimes of sadness, spectacular. You'll be Rossi de Palma and I'll be your Dracula. Vistas of agony, decorate a lost room. Shoes by the door, on the floor is your costume. Open the trunk with the car key, the odd way. Love songs, call me the Marquis de Sade, Lord of the Files. You lost me, I wonder how. Midnight, meet me at the entrance for the underground. So many questions, but I'm afraid to ask, though I whisper them to Apollinaire by Picasso. I touch all the flowers and break the chain. I wish I could fly, but I'd rather take the train. And it just so happens I'm selling my psyche. If you like love, you'll love this.
Dude, oh my god. These songs are so good. I just love the melodies first and foremost. Okay, just apply the compliment. Great melodies and great production to every single Buck song, and then we'll save some time that way. I'm really curious to try to dive into some of the meaning of this track, because I thought I got it with the if you like love, you'll love this most likely, but I also think there's many other themes that are being addressed here. I just want to draw our attention to some of these amazing lyrics. I don't know which ones though, because there's so many. I guess we'll just start with verse 1. I'm not going to do a full analysis here. Well, believe me, I've tried, but there's no explaining. Eyes piled up, you look like a painting. Saintly and sexy, the soft-spoken wind blows. Uncertain curtain covers broken windows. That is so poetic, and I love that it's also tied into this admiration of this woman, this person that he is admiring and speaking about in such a poetic way. But then he's also flipping the script when he brings up himself in the next verse. In desperate need of safe haven and inflamed, I walk around Paris unshaven and ashamed. 20 odd years, reference to the album, since last time I slow danced, teenage crisis and the end of romance. Yeah, because he became jaded with the idea of love. And, to some extent too, like in my own life, when I had my first love, it felt like it was the thing. And when that love didn't come to pass in the way that I had hoped because of my own immaturity and just a whole host of things that couldn't have been foreseen, if, you asked me back then, I wouldn't have been able to tell you. And now I know what went wrong. But in the loss of that love, kind of lost the willingness to love the way that I did. I think in fear of losing that love again, and also almost like holding that love hostage even for myself. Like, I'm not going to give it out anymore because, like, I've been hurt so many times, but that's the exact wrong approach. Love can exist always and always should be put out there. Holding it to yourself is the error. I'm going to pull the last verse up here. Oh, actually, I'm going to go through the bridge and then last verse. You and me are meant to be, that's right, I love you. Can't you see, whatever partner you do choose, you have the ability to marry. 6, 7, 8, I'll never hurt you, Husbands love their wives, yeah, love the woman, part of me is here with you. One life where your heart beats for you, well, here we are again. Here's a couple, treacherous. I'm impatient in relationships in and love. When will you see quand allez-vous me voir? I mean, that is like that whole bridge is just dumping love onto this other person and saying like, I'm impatient. I need this love with you now. But verse 2, the apology sets in. Bird girl, I'm sorry, I'm too sleepy to make, but the sounds of my dreams always keep me awake. Don't want to scare the birds away, so I speak soft. Memories like the shows of Vanessa Beecroft. Her bedroom philosophies are so perplexing, but I think these 2 wooden legs are so sexy. Cries of sadness spectacular. You be Rossi de Palma, I'll be your Dracula. Some of these references were not as clear to me. I just don't know them. But let me see if I can find meaning in what we just heard. Bird girl, sorry, I'm too sleepy to make. Like the bed, it's too hard to make this bed. But the sounds of my dream always keep me awake. I don't even know. Let's keep on going. Fist is of agony, decorate the last room. Shoes by the door on the floor is your costume. Open the trunk with the car key the odd way. Love songs call me the Marquis de Sade. Oh no, where are the lyrics going? Lord of the Flies, you lost me, I wonder how. Midnight meet me at the entrance for the underground. So many questions, but I'm afraid to ask, so I whisper them to Apollinaire by Picasso. I touch all the flowers and break the chain. I wish I could fly, but I'd rather take the train, and it just so happens I'm selling my psyche. If you like love, you'll like this. Well, you'll love this. Oh my god, I think I understand less now. Because I think mixed in with this love of this woman is a parallel of his love for art. But honestly, I'm not sure. The outro, you wouldn't tell me what it was because I don't think you know. Yeah, this one beat me. Gee whiz beat me by Buck here. Let's see if I get this one. Let's see if Google can help me with the meaning of that one.
She wrote back, 2 alone, a single pair, shooting stars, messages in bottles, a signal flare. The ledge appears, eyes insinuate a pledge of years. Middle of nowhere, she met me at the edge of tears. The Wild West, beguiled less, a child blessed. Styled dressed, I asked and she smiled yes. Requested, my eyes closed and neck rested. Surrounded by dead silent couples, we breakfasted. She knows the way, I'm a foreign ambassador. I was a window in a
breakfasted. The way that he enunciates certain words, he breaks apart the syllables. Oh, that is so clever. Because it's. Oh, you know why it's so clever. Jesus, I'm running it back. Wow. I love the melody again. These songs, the melodies have been
She wrote back,
spectacular.
two alone, a single pair, shooting stars, messages in bottles, a signal flare. The ledge appears, eyes insinuate a pledge of years. Middle of nowhere, she met me at the edge of tears. The Wild West, beguiled less, a child blessed. Style dressed, I asked and she smiled yes. Requested, my eyes closed and neck rested. Surrounded by dead silent couples, we breakfasted. She knows the way, I'm a foreign ambassador. I was a window in a door and a passenger. Lights on Elizabeth, early nights and vaccinations. Out of the blue, the birds flew like accusations from telephone wires that crisscrossed the wild sky. Climbing her staircase to her bedroom a mile high. Trips that begun from the tip of the tongue. New moon, a total eclipse of the sun. And she said yes. She said yes.
I have nothing to say. This is so beautiful. I think this might be my favorite song of Buck's. And like the thing is, I don't even properly understand all of the lyricism in this, much as I try. The way it is just sitting in my body, it is so beautiful.
Ambassador, I was a window in a door and a passenger. Lights on Elizabeth, early nights and vaccinations. Out of the blue, the birds flew like accusations from telephone wires that crisscrossed the wild sky. Climbing her staircase to her bedroom a mile high. Trips that begun from the tip of the tongue. New moon, a total eclipse of the sun. And she said yes. She said yes.
It's like
She said
in
yes.
the context of a wedding proposal. I don't know, for real.
She said yes.
That's my baseline assumption, but
She said yes.
I have no idea.
She said yes. Lonely Hearts Club, a committee of privates. Heart-shaped waters in a city of pirates. Hideouts and how much depends of the worth. Philosophers walk to the ends of the earth. And she said yes. 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 She said yes.
Oh my god, I'm crying. It's so good. Oh my god. It's so beautiful. How is that only 354? That felt like a lifetime. Oh my god. I immediately knew that I would like the melody in that song. Like I'm pretty good at figuring out if I like melodies, just putting it out there. I loved all three of the melodies today, but this final one, and she said yes, with the way the beat was hitting, that like trap vibe, but it also felt a bit industrial and it kept collapsing in on itself. But then you pair it with those legato strings that smooth over every rough edge or add to the rough edges in a way that helps you pick apart where those rough edges are with more discernibility. I just love it to bits. And that's not even acknowledging any of the lyrics because, frankly, I will try and I will fail again and again. I love that all of these songs, in their own way, touched on relationships, touched on the idea of love. Um, and it's like, it feels more complicated than even I can begin to like speculate on. It's going to take a couple listens through just to get past just the initial wave of how good the melodies and the beats were to then like properly hold on to the lyrics. And I feel like I say this with so much Buck 65 because often when I go back to his work, it starts making more sense to me. And in all honesty too, I'm just like so impressed by his wordplay, even outside of what the actual lyrics are. His ability to like chef up all of these unique combinations, these word pairings, in addition to what he's able to do in his melismatic vocals, and the way he can like warp existing words into the same word that's pronounced slightly differently. Oof. Oof. I'm going to read a few of these lyrics off that I really liked, and then we'll end the reaction. Trips that begun from the tip of the tongue, new moon, a total eclipse of the sun. Almost like, just from hearing that, it's like our words bring us to foreign places. It's a new moon. This is a new conversation that we're broaching. One that's capable of eclipsing the sun, changing what we know about the world and hiding the visibility. Kind of like harkens back to the previous song too, about like wandering in the unknown. This other lyric here, she knows the way, I'm a foreign ambassador. I was a window, in a door, in a passenger. I was a window, in a door, in a passenger. That is like, oh, like I don't know if you guys have ever done any programming. There's a whole concept of, oh gosh, I should know it if I'm going to bring it up. In dynamic programming, there's a whole thing of induction. Basically, you have to like reverse engineer the solution to the problem to arrive at the base case, but you can only program it from like a reverse standpoint. I can't better explain it right now. It's been a minute since I've coded like that, okay? But that's how this kind of phrase appears to me. I was a window, in a door, in a passenger. What's the proper way to unpack such a statement? Do you start as the passenger? And what is the goal of a passenger? To make it from point A to point B. But what does it mean to be a door in a passenger? Because doors, you walk through them to make it into a new environment. But a door being inside somebody who's traveling is like they are traveling through themselves, because they themselves are also the door. Because it's like you're the window, the door, and the passenger at the same time. But they're subsets of one another. So then we bring it all the way back to the window where you're just peering through. It's like the simplest form of acknowledgement. Like you observe yourself, and then you can walk through the door to, to affect change and manifest whatever reality you would like, and then you actually do the traveling. Or you're there for the ride, or you're passive. I don't know. I will never know. Maybe there's a way to know. What are some of the other lyrics I like here? She wrote back to alone, a single pair of shooting stars. Message in bottles, a signal flare. the ledge appears, eyes insinuate a pledge of years. It's like, hey, I want to be with you forever. I'm pledging this. The ledge, right? The leap of faith one needs to take to be with somebody else. But also, the ledge could be taken from a more ominous perspective of like, there's an abyss and a chasm below. Middle of nowhere, she met me at the edge of tears. She met me when I was at my worst in a place you would never expect. The Wild West, beguiled less, a child blessed, styled, dressed. I asked and she smiled yes. Wow. Requested my eyes closed and neck rested, surrounded by dead, silent couples, we breakfasted. Okay, maybe that first verse makes more sense now that I kind of go through it linearly. But like, they have the love. These two people are sharing the love. They agree. They have that kind of unspoken rapport with one another because they know that they're there for each other. And then, of course, when the question is asked, she replies yes. And now that they're together, and maybe this, I don't know, bed and breakfast somewhere, all the other dead, silent couples around us, they are the images of what not to do in a relationship for your future. Because you are filled with love. You both make each other better. You're like the twin flames, and sometimes those twin flames get extinguished without enough persistent effort and care and love for the other. And you let that be a sort of a warning against falling down that route, because your love, however true it is, requires that you also feed it more and more. Love for love's sake. Yeah, these songs were so good today. Thank you very much, Graham, for the recommendations. You did amazing. That's all I got for you today. I hope you enjoyed the reaction. If you want to request one yourself, please hit the first link down below. But as always, my friends, have a wonderful rest of your day. Take care and peace.